Good morning, this is John Piper with the weekend video clip, and it's Sunday the 15th of June. We're looking here at a daily chart of the DAX. Before that, quick word on the Krautgap robot. I sent out a little promo yesterday concerning that we now have the robot up and running. It's still in a testing phase, looking for beta testers, but I want to thank all of you who actually expressed interest in that. And it'll probably be a few days, maybe a couple of weeks in fact, before I get back to you, but thank you very much for the interest, and we are dealing with this, so you will hear from me shortly. Now, looking at the chart here, the daily chart of the DAX, back in January we saw a peak, we then had an A, B, C decline, the corrective format. We then saw what looks like a wave 1, followed by wave 2, which took us to the April low. And since then we've been staggering higher. We'll look at this in a bit more detail in a minute. The key point here is this is a third wave. It's not showing much acceleration, so it's a very weak third wave, suggesting yet again that there is some kind of important peak on the horizon. So let's have a look at the shorter term chart to just analyse the action since mid-April in a bit more detail. Okay, here's the hourly action. So we've got a one wave there from mid-April. Then got an ABC2, looks like a bit of a triangle at one point, but ABC is for the best count. Then wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and this whole thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bit of a blip here, but I think it's the best count. Looks like it's wave 3, so now got an A, B, C, and this is we saw acceptance above 10,000 for one day, which is quite a positive, but it didn't manage to hold. It's now slipped back to 9.8. Nevertheless, the form is an ABC. We've now got a more significant, well, a decent bounce, I should say, which counts as a fifth wave from this angle. Sorry, that point there. So there's wave 2. Here's wave 4. So the point is that would then lead us to another high above 10,000, which would complete the action from there, from mid-May. But of course, that doesn't complete the action from mid-April, which I mean a bit more, another pullback and another rally. So it looks like we're still going up for maybe a couple of months in fact, but it may not, but again it might be more of the same, more sort of filling, gapping and filling, and broadly sideways, not a huge amount happening. But in fact the coming week is expiry week, tends to be quieter. The action so far suggests it actually be quite a positive week, so we'll have to see how that goes. It is a June expiry, so we have the triple witching expiry of the futures, the options on futures, and the options themselves. Right, let's look at FTSE now. A more negative picture here. We've got this slight rising diagonal. We then saw this triangle over the last few weeks. Look at that in a bit more detail in a minute. But a strong move up to there. Triangle tends to be a corrective move, so again it would suggest we are going to see higher prices. Let's go down a leg. The hourly chart again. So you see the triangle actually is guided quite significantly by those two lines here. Support levels are well documented. I count the triangle as starting actually from here, in the sense we're rallying up to that point there. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth wave down to 6A, but then it's broken through, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it might bounce from there. That does raise a few questions. It's possible we're seeing some kind of peak, but looking at the DAX, it looks more likely we're going to go up from here. It's always difficult to be sure about these things. I mean, there is a lot of negative in the system. I mean, the biggest issue is just price. Price has now been rallying since 2009. 5 years of action to the upside, so price is at a much higher level. Markets are an auction process. As price rises, it filters out buyers, brings in sellers, and eventually there's an overwhelming number of sellers, and the market starts to go down again. That's the nature of the beast. What we're trying to do by using things like Elliott is to get an angle on what's happening, but ultimately it is that relationship between the buyers and the sellers that governs market action. And this break here below the triangular pattern causes us to question the hypothesis. We may have a good solid rally into that peak. We may have a very corrective format there. But unless FTSE can actually regain the triangle, I regain 6,800, this will be a negative pattern. So I had to watch the action on Monday to see what's going on. Looking at the Dow, we have seen new highs here, so new all-time highs, but it has fallen back quite sharply. Let's have a look at that. Okay, the high was at 16979. We have from there seen a 1, sort of regular 2, 3 down to there. Now this looks like a corrective move, A, B, C. So if we were to see a move below 16.7, then that would suggest that we have 5 waves down, obviously. That could be a trend reversal under Elliott, and then we get a blip next week. So that would actually make sense from the point of view of expiry. We have a currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would have a 6-day decline if we do make new lows on Monday. That would give us a corrective rally, probably into expiry, which again makes sense with a quieter action expiry. And that could set us up for quite a major sell signal. Of course, we need to see the lows we haven't got at the moment. Right now, what we've got is an A, B, C, which is of course corrective, but the action here is not too encouraging right now. So the DAX is the Dow is well worth looking at next week. Could be a leading indicator and give us some good trading opportunities. Right, have a look at Nikkei now. The Nikkei was described as a one-way bet during the week because apparently money's being pumped in. The bank is looking to stimulate the economy. It may well be, but the pattern still gives us a 5th wave to there, an A to there. This could still be a B, although it's looking more encouraging now. We're back above 15,000. So in fact we could easily see a retest of 16,000. But there could still be a C wave decline to come in. So I don't think it's over yet. One-way bets tend to not be the case on markets. If only because again price may still be well below the 1989 lows around 40,000, but has been rallying quite strongly, so it could need a little bit more time to digest. Anyway, right now it's looking positive. We're still long on the Nikkei from 10,000, so that's position is still great. Alright, finally look at gold. Again, looks like a triangle for now. And gold it's quite good at triangles. There's been quite a few of them, but pretty clear A, B, C, and again, as a fact, we've got a lower low there, which is what signals a possible triangle. We've already got an A, B, C here. However, that could easily extend to hit below 12, hit the lower parameter, allowing one more. Well, the 5th wave take us back up there again. So although we are rallying a bit on gold, that may not last much longer. Depends, of course, on other factors like the Dow, of course. So it should be an interesting week next week. Good luck with your trading. That's all for now. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks again.